Hi, I'm Denise.
Denise, thank you again for talking with us today. I do really, really appreciate it. Sister is back in town. You've got a very fun new show. What can audiences expect from this show this time around?
This version is really, first of all, late night catechism, super fun show, highly interactive. Audience members take on the role of my students in a class. I'm the teacher, a very strict nun who has certain expectations of how she expects her students to behave, excuse me. So no shouting out, raise your hands, like very old school in the sense of keeping the reverence within the room. Now we're dealing with Irish catechism, which everybody now associates with drinking. So it's gone to another level. I mean, I've got to take control of this room the second I walk in because they are coming ready to have fun. And it's really, I describe this version as it's like turned into a Rocky Horror Picture Show of late night catechism. Like it's almost like they're rehearsing before they show up. So it's an absolute blast. In this version, Sister is reclaiming St. Patrick's Day. It has turned into sort of everybody wears green and drinks, but that's not really what St. Patrick's intentions were. Alcohol does bring us together in a weird kind of way, but that's not really what he wanted. So, Sister wants to return to what the origins of this holiday are so that when everybody does toss a shamrock over their shoulder on St. Patrick's Day, they don't burn in hell for it. She's essentially saving them. And then the second half of the class, Sister decides that she wants to take St. Bruno's Adult Catechism on a field trip. This is her mission while she's in town. And she discovers that you all have a really amazing local St. Patrick's Day parade here in Houston. So she makes it her mission to get St. Bruno's to march in the parade. And the second half of the show is us kind of putting together what our parade experience will be. And then I actually have a practice parade where the audience puts on a parade. It's wild and so fun.
Oh my God, that sounds incredible. I am very, very excited to check out this show. I think we're coming later this week, and I cannot wait. I told my wife about it, and she was like, "Can I bring straw wrappers and really get myself called out?" And I'm like, "I don't think it's going to be a problem for you getting called out during a show like."
Tell her to bring whatever she wants. And, I mean, I really appreciate when people come and they're ready to participate. And Houston, to me, and my audiences here have always been that. What a great community this is. I mean, it really is an incredible, the arts are thriving. There's just so much going on every time I come to Houston. I'm totally in all of it. And every time I think I've discovered one thing about Houston, something else is revealed to me. And this particular one is very special because for me, I wanted this show to be very uplifting, to show people that we've kind of lost that face-to-face contact, right? I mean, you and I are having that contact now, but if this was 10 years ago, this wouldn't have even been possible. And I'm not saying that the internet hasn't enhanced our ways in tremendous ways, but in some ways it's kind of taken the experience of a face-to-face experience out of what we do. And Sister's mission was a group activity can bring people of all different faiths and backgrounds together because they're focused on something else besides what they don't appreciate or understand about the other person. So, and through that group activity, a bond is made. And that's what I'm seeing at the end of the show. Every night, that 2 hours after everybody comes into the theater, they're friends and they're looking forward to getting to know each other. And there's really something quite special about it.
I love that. And it's funny, in like 2 years from now, we'll be doing this type of thing through like Google lenses or Apple lenses. And so, yeah, it's nice having these moments where we can come together.
It really is. And, putting action to something, asking a group to get involved. So when I first put this play together, when we were working on the play, we decided that we would do a parade, and then it would just be obvious that if there was going to be a parade in the classroom, that sister would have to be the grand marshal because she's the boss and she's in charge. And just as part of the show, we started to make videos how I should be the grand marshal of the St. Patrick's Day parade. And then, of course, everybody in Houston took it to the next level and they started sending the videos into the parade commissioner. And and I don't know if you've heard, but last week I was announced the Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade here in.
No, like that's incredible.
So it's like,
Congratulations.
yeah, like something that we wrote in a play became real life because the audience was motivated by this call to action. Like they did this. So yeah, I'm the Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade. And then I was able to get together with the parade people and, Sean Kearns, who runs the parade. This parade is based in tradition, it's based in community, it's based in family. And his grandfather has been putting on this parade for, I think, 63 years. And he works tirelessly every year to keep this tradition in his family. And because not everybody goes out and participates anymore, it's not been an easy ride for him, And
Oh,
he was telling me during the pandemic when they couldn't have the parade, he still wanted the tradition to be held. So he drove around the parade route in his truck with the one float by himself. And I was like,
my gosh.
it's such a beautiful story. So now my call to action is we might not be New York, and we're certainly not going to get a permit to dye our bayou green like Chicago does their river. But our parade is based in an authentic family tradition way. And I think it's a really beautiful, almost Hallmark type story. So my call to action now is to have this become national news and get on the Today Show and let them see what we do here in Houston for St. Patrick's Day, and how when a community comes together and really gets behind something and really believes that anything is possible.
That's incredible. I love that. That is a wild story. I mean, this is like Sister's vision board has come to life. That's amazing.
It's insane. It really is, but I'm blown away by it. And I wrote it. So I'm watching this get played out every night. And I'm like, I can't believe these people believe me. Like, wait a second. But then I'm like, but they believe in the cause. And the cause is such a beautiful intention, right? So to me, I'm like, yeah, I get it. And now I believe, I've gotten to know the parade folks, and I'm like, with all of who I am and what I can contribute and the attention that I can bring to their parade so that it gets bigger and bigger every year so that Sean's son and his kids can have this parade for the rest of their lives, I'm on board.
I love that. And Houstonians were very big about rallying around each other. We've had so many opportunities to do that. I hope this is definitely one where we all can step up and come out and support the parade, support the show, support all of it, and that tradition, and keep it alive. Because I do know, as far as Houstonians go, we really love a good party. We love a good opportunity to rally and show off our city. Let's go, guys. What are we doing?
I could not agree with that statement more. And that's really how my bond was created with Houston. Like when I first came here, it was, I don't know, maybe 12 years ago. Stages was still at 3201. It was in the smaller building, but with heart and spirit, and just putting on gorgeous, incredible, motivating theater. And I really wanted to be a part of their theater company. And for years they were like, you don't live here. Like, it doesn't work like that. And I'm like, come on, you guys. Like, I know you bring me in as sister, but there was something so dynamic about this community. I was so attracted to the excitement and what you're saying, the rallying of Houstonians. And I finally got that opportunity. Ken McLaughlin, the artistic director, did bring me in for other projects. And it was the audience that then was like, we want Denise, we want her back, we want her in this. And I mean, careful what you ask for in Houston, because people make it happen.
That's we love that, and I mean, we really do have an interesting theater community because I know a lot of people when they initially think, if you're talking in general anywhere in the country about theater, Broadway, musicals, plays, all of it, you're immediately going to New York or you're thinking Chicago. But I mean, Houston shows up for their theater community. We have theaters big and small, and it's always an incredible experience.
It was interesting when I first started touring into Houston. I was living in New York City. And that was my path. I grew up in Boston. I don't know if you can tell. I grew up in Boston, and I knew immediately that this is my, passion, that this is what I wanted to do. And I knew at that time that I needed to go to New York to make that happen. So I did. And I worked tirelessly, many jobs trying to support myself in the city, audition, and participate in theater actively. Um, and then I came to Houston and I started touring into Houston, and everybody in New York would be like, "Why are you always in Houston?" And I'm like, their theater community is thriving. And what I love about the theater community here is it's not a competition between the other theaters. It's a collaboration of work, and everybody's supporting each other, and you can work for different theater companies. And I've just I've never seen anything like it. And I'm really, it's why I'm here. It's why I'm here.
Well, I'm so glad, and I know that Houston is happy that you're here. Um, Taking things a little bit back to the show, you've been playing this character for a minute. What's so special about Sister for you?
Well, well, let me say that there's so many things. I have to stop and think about that for a second. Mary Pat Donovan, she was the original creator of this show, the writer of the show, and she was the original sister. And I met her in New York City. I was personally cast by her and trained by her into the role of sister. So she's special. And watching her work and play sister it was unbelievable to me to watch an actress really become this character and then have the audience believe in a way that I've never seen, uh, go on this ride with her. So that to me was a very special experience. Being able to be trained by her in this role was incredibly special. And she allowed me to bring who I was to the character. And that was sort of her advice. Like, this isn't you trying to be me as sister. This is Denise. If Denise became a nun next week, who would she be? What are your beliefs? What do you love in life? And I thought that was really cool, like to be able to have a playwright pass on their work to you and say, make it your own, make it special, make it you. So for me, it's an exaggerated version of who I am a little bit and what my passions are. And I get to bring a little bit about myself to this every night. I get to share stories about my family. I get to uplift my mom and dad and what it was like to grow up Catholic and talk about my cousins and my sister. And then I also get to hear the audience's stories. And that to me is one of the most special parts, like that they're willing to share with me. I've had kids that came 10 years ago that played the little drummer boy in my Christmas version of the show. And now they're grown up and they're in college and they come back to see me, and to know that I've just touched people in that way, just a tiny little bit, gives me a lot of joy in my heart. So for me, it's the connection of people and that exchange of energy in a very unique way that theater provides.
That's incredible. Um, for a show that is obviously so heavily improv influenced, how long did it take for you to kind of get into that headspace? Like, okay, it's go time now. We're ready for the show. And then in that same breath, do you find yourself after the show is over, be like having a time turning that off and realizing I am not sister right now. I am Denise.
Well, I'm going to start to tell you a couple of little secrets about myself. Not everybody knows. I have terrible stage fright. So, and I can't quite get it under control. And I don't understand it because once I'm on stage, it's gone. But before I perform, it's so overwhelming to me. So every night before I go on, I think I forgot all my lines. I don't think anybody's going to come and see the show. I digress into this place of total panic. And there's a wonderful Todd Molesky, who has worked for the theater for many, many years, has become one of my dear friends. He is director of operations. And yet he stage manages all of my productions and has since the beginning. And it's basically part of his job to just keep my brain together and get me to the door. Just get me to the door. And everybody's like, how do you prepare? And I'm like, I don't. I basically get pushed onto stage every night. It's like, get out there now. And then it's me in the audience. And it's like, it's fight or flight, right? It's like, I either rise to the occasion. It's like walking into the Coliseum. It's like either live or die. And that is my preparation. So no, I don't prepare. I just walk out and pray to God that I don't faint or pass out.
You're killing it. So that's good. I'm glad to see that it's working out. And
is it? I don't know. Every night I'm like, am I going to be all right? I don't know. Is words going to come out of my mouth? I don't know. And they do, and it works. And thank God the audience is very forgiving to Sister if she forgets where she is. But it all works in this play. It's almost like anything, even if the show breaks entirely, we can still make it work.
Well, I think you're doing a phenomenal job. And honestly, I'm going to be real with you. I love hearing you say that because I feel like there's a lot of actors out there and performers that have that may be on the little shy side of saying, yes, I totally am terrified every time I'm about to step out onto that stage. So I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I don't know how, I mean, God bless anybody that isn't, but I'm scared of the audience for the first 2 minutes, especially my audience, because they can talk back to me.
That's true. It's a whole nother level.
Oh, Houston is, I mean, they are just bringing it this year. Like we're in the middle of Lent. If I told you some of the things people are giving up for Lent.
Ooh.
Last week we had a girl that yelled out, I gave up sex for Lent, right? So now her husband is completely surprised because for the next 40 days, his life is miserable, right? But I'm a nun and there's children and how am I going to address this? And then she backtracks right away and she goes, no. I didn't mean to say it like that. I'm a dominatrix. I'm like, what are we doing now? This is live in front of the whole audience. And then she's like, no, wait, I'm not a dominatrix. I work for a dominatrix and our numbers go down during Lent. I'm like, what? And she goes, but they go up during Christmas. So I'm thinking, people don't like to be slapped around so much during Lent, but during Christmas, this is what's going on. And this is literally live in front of an audience. So.
And in other news, it's like, okay, during intermission, step aside. I need to have a further conversation with you.
Oh, no, I said right in front of the audience. I said, this is the moment now where I have to make a decision. Do I want to dive in or do we just leave this where it is? And the audience yells, dive in.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, where is this going? What are we about to experience? So
that's incredible. I mean, you've definitely probably heard some wild things, probably in this run of show alone. And that's amazing.
Not only wild things, like just the behavior, the excitement of what's to come. Now you've got, 14 people on a stage that are marching in a parade, from the banner holders. We've got kilts and people playing flutes. We've got flag wavers. We've got Irish step dancers. We had a drum made specifically for Houston that is a Jose Altuve drum because you gotta bring the Astros into it, and it's irreverent. So people are now just dancing and laughing, and my job is to keep the structure of it together. But now I've got 14 people on stage with me that are just ready to have a parade. So and the theater is serving signature cocktails, and that's so fun. And Last night, it's like a bar. Last night, somebody smashed a glass. The whole audience screams. I'm like, it's fine. Get a broom in here. We'll clean it up and move on. There's dogs. People are bringing their dogs, babies, bunnies. I'm not
I
making
don't,
this.
I don't even know what to say.
I'm not making it up. I had a giant poodle last night in the classroom.
I genuinely have no idea what to say. That's incredible. And okay, so guys, if you weren't excited about seeing the show before, you should be absolutely excited about seeing it right now. Oh my God. So
It's a little early for me today. Am I making any sense?
you're absolutely making sense, and I am here for it.
Yeah.
Well, normally I like to end on like why do you think people should see the show? But I can't think of anything. Like you have listed off my personal checklist of why I would need to be in this audience if I wasn't sold on it before.
You have to experience it, and for me, what's beautiful and why you should see it now, and we've actually extended the show now. It's running through March 22nd because so many people want to see it. And what I've seen happening throughout this run in particular is people are coming back and they're bringing people because you can't explain it. You can't, and I say it at the end. What happened in this room tonight was so incredible. A group of people got together and we shared in an experience. We put on a parade, and no matter how you try to explain to anybody outside of this room tonight what happened, they will never, ever, ever understand it. It's not something that can transfer to video, or even if you showed them something, you can't. So people are returning like 2 or 3 times already to see it. So much so that we've had to extend, and now we have a float in the St. Patrick's Day Parade. And I didn't mention this, and I need to because it's insane. On top of writing the show with the parade in it, I said to the theater, what if we invite every audience member to walk in the parade? What if we actually do the parade? So we've been signing people up through the course of the run, and now we have over 500 people signed up, audience members that want to be in the St. Patrick's Day Parade with us. So it really is, interactive theater, bust the fourth wall. Late Night Irish Catechism has busted out of the theater. We're in the parade. We're doing a group field trip. That's why you should see it, because sometimes experiences like this only happen once. And this show has really, it's art imitating life, life imitating art. We accomplished something here as a community, as theater goers, where we have made this play come to life. That may never, ever happen again. So the electricity of this experience, I would say, get down there, come and see it, sign up to march in the parade with us, because it's going to be unique. And my instincts tell me that we are going to end up getting national news for this. We are going to end up getting talked about on the Today Show, because to me, it's that special.
I genuinely hope so. I really want this to be a success for you guys. I know we're going to share it on our end, and I can't wait for you guys. If you haven't seen the show, come check out the show.
It's my guardian angel candle. I set my intentions to it every day. I light one every time I'm in Houston, and they all come true.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Denise, you are fantastic. Guys, come and check out Sisters Irish Catechism, Saints, Snakes, and Green Milkshakes, playing now through March 22nd at Stages Houston. You can get your tickets at stageshouston.com. Denise, like I said, you are absolutely lovely, and I am so excited to see this show probably more than once. Thank you for your time today. You're the best.
Thank you so much. I look forward to meeting you and your wife.
Absolutely. Thank you again. We'll talk soon. Bye,
Thanks.
everybody.
Bye.